Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Bad Decisions with Jazz, episode 4. Hello, lovelies, welcome back to my podcast on another week of bullshit. Just kidding. I have to make jokes to make this shit fun for me. I don't know, I think I'm funny. Do you think I'm funny? Probably not, but I'm definitely retarded, so I probably shouldn't use that word. I'm definitely stupid. Let's get into the tea, because this week has been trying me. This whole year has been fucking trying me, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. I found out last week that my ex was talking to somebody, not even talking to somebody, dating somebody else, which has been, I feel like it's none of my business. I'm gonna start with that. It's none of my business to begin with. Who he's talking to, who he's seeing, who he's dating, I don't care. I know what I said in my first episode. Exes as friends, I support it, I'm all for it. I am all for it. That doesn't change, but you know, when you have leftover feelings and then you find out that somebody's already dating somebody seriously, and you know, they don't even have the decency to tell you that, hey, by the way, I'm dating somebody, because obviously I'm gonna find out from other people because we have the same friends for the most part. I mean, we're not really friends anymore, but we'll talk if we see each other, you know. So they'll just mention it, which is what happened. Like, obviously you know that your friends might slip up and say something, so why wouldn't you have the decency to tell me yourself? But whatever, that's my opinion, my perspective. It's irrelevant, I guess. But no, and it's kind of weighing down on me, because it's just like, why would you do that and not tell me? And on top of that, he started dating her 4 months after we broke up. So this whole time I'm thinking, oh, he's still single, he's still trying to get his life together the same way that I am. Like, I thought we were on the same page, and I was wrong. And don't get me wrong, I'm talking and seeing someone, okay, the guy that I've been seeing for 6 months, which, by the way, I've been thinking about this, and I think that we need a nickname for him. So we're gonna go ahead and call him Sugar Daddy, because that's how I refer to him at work and stuff. So I feel like it's a relevant name. I like it. I'm supporting it. I did it already. Obviously, I'm talking to Sugar Daddy and my ex. He tried to bring that up because I confronted him about the situation. Not really confronted, and I told him that I knew it was none of my business, but he decided to answer my questions honestly and totally, and, well, I got drunk last night, so this is a bad decision with Jazz. 1, don't fucking get drunk on a work night or a school night. Also, you shouldn't be getting drunk on a school night, but I'm not stupid. I know how the drill goes because I've been there, done that. You know, then you'll go to bed on time and not do things that are bad for you. Well, I could not sleep for the life of me, for the actual life of me, yesterday. So I decided to, you know, get intoxicated because, you know, drinking will help you sleep, especially wine drunk. Come on now. Wine drunk puts you right to bed, but I could not sleep. It was insane. I didn't go to bed till 5 in the morning, and I worked at 3 in the afternoon, so I was just like, oh, great. Way to go, Jazz. Again, bad decision. And I decided to text my ex like a fucking idiot. And I told Sugar Daddy about it, and I feel so bad because, like, I made him insecure, and of course I don't want to do that to him. Like, he's a treasure in my life, and I really love him, and I don't want to hurt him, but, you know, he knows I'm trying to figure this shit out, and he's being really supportive of that, so he's a keeper. So ladies, he's not on the table anymore. I think I'm gonna cuff him up. And he's probably listening to this like, what is this bitch saying? What? Does she want to talk to me about it first, or whatever? No, I don't, ho. I don't want to talk to you about it first. Anyways, yeah, I texted my ex because I wanted to ask who the girl was. I wanted confirmation to know that it was the girl that I had suspicions of the whole time, and he did confirm it in his own way, because I know him well enough to know that when he gets defensive, that's it. That's when I pushed it. I crossed that line because I said something relevant, and he didn't want me to know that. So, yeah, well, that's great. Love to see that shit, but whatever, I guess. What are we talking about today? Because we should probably jump into that now, huh? We're on a time scale for the most part. What is episode 4 about? It's about change. Why is change so scary? Why is it so hard to accept? So change could be like a change in jobs, a change in scenery, a change in your friends, relationships, ourselves. And I don't necessarily think that change in ourselves is a bad thing, because that means that you're growing, you're progressing, you're making yourself better. So I don't see how that could be scary. But I don't know. I don't have enough perspective on it because I just go through the motions. I'm changing on a day-to-day basis. Right now, self-care, self-help is a thing. I'm doing it. I'm not gonna lie. I am depressed. Like, depressed. like a motherfucker. I don't know what it is. I'm just sad. I cry. It could be because it's that time of month. God knows I fucking hate that time of month. I tell my uterus every month, look, I would like to be pregnant too, but here we are. We're not pregnant, so stop screaming at me, because that's what it feels like. It feels like your uterus is screaming at you inside your body. It's not cute. I don't like it. Anyways, back to the topic, because I always get sidetracked. Changing ourselves is like a good thing. It means that you're growing, you're progressing, like I said. And you should always want to see change in yourself more than anything, you know? Do you think that acceptance plays a major role? So, yeah, of course it does. Jobs, obviously you want to be accepted in your new job. You want to have a good reputation. You want to be reliable. I don't know if that's just me and my work ethic, but I know that every time I go to a new job within like my little section, I always want to be the best at it, like the most reliable person there, because I pride myself in my work. You know, that's really what I have for me is my job, because that's what pays the bills. That's what got me this house, you know? That's what got me everything in life that I've been working so hard for. So of course acceptance plays a major role. In this new job that I'm in, I just feel like it's a process to be accepted into it, and I appreciate that, because obviously it can't just be handed to everyone. Then it doesn't make that one person feel special. I don't know, I feel like if they knew me and knew my reputation, then maybe it wouldn't be so goddamn difficult, but it is. But that's another topic, so let's go to the next topic. Do you think that acceptance in the new scene that you're in, so a new scene could be like a new environment. For me, when I moved from Chicago to Arizona, the reason why I hated it so much is just because it's a whole other scenery, like literally it's not the same. So for me, fashion is, I live by fashion. I love fashion. Fashion to me is the most amazing thing in this planet, because you could get so creative with it, and it speaks thousands of different words, you know? It tells you so much about a person, and that's what I appreciate most about it, you know? So I don't know if that's just me, but I know that in Chicago, fashion also is a big thing. You know, if you go out looking cute, I feel like it's a standard thing. You know, when you go outside, seeing people in business casual or business attire is a standard thing. And I loved seeing that, because it was like, okay, these people are put together. And in Arizona, I just feel like people don't give a shit to be put together. They literally go out looking like crackheads, and I'm just like, is this another version of Florida without a beach? I'm confused. No shade to people from Florida, though. It's just because Sugar Daddy's from Florida, so I'm throwing shade at him for it. Obviously, acceptance with friends is a major role. When I came to Arizona, I had no friends, which was scary. Obviously, it was everything new, from my job to being new, my scenery, my friends, relationships, even myself was all new. It was fucking terrifying, but honestly I figured it out, which goes to say that no matter what situation you're in, even if it's not an easy situation, there's always like a way out, or, you know, a better way to look at it, a better perspective, which I know I sound old and wise, which I'm not at all. I've just been through a lot of shit, you know? It's just a big deal to be accepted by people and friends. It's really important, and I can't speak for everybody. Obviously, not everybody has that same standpoint as I do, but that's just how I view it. So obviously, moving to a new place, a new scene, I wanted to be accepted by people. It was important to me to be accepted by people, and so when you first join the military, you stay in like a dorm. Obviously, I can't speak for every branch of service, as I've said before, but I do know that we do stay in dorms in the Air Force, and all of us are like bunched together, and the people that I worked with were like the first friends that I made. This one girl that I used to work with, I actually miss her so much, but I texted her and she texted back, and I'm that shitty person who doesn't text back after that. Like, it's like, okay, just know that I'm thinking about you, and this is kind of the end of the conversation. I don't know if that's just me. I'm kind of retarded, but I do miss her a lot, because she was just laughs and giggles at all times. She was that girl that everybody loves, you know, and that's not me at all. I'm not the girl that everybody loves. I'm the girl who finds trouble and gives that to other people, right? Yeah, we stayed in dorms, so we often saw each other. Actually, this is how I met my ex. We were friends first. Actually, we weren't friends first. We hated each other. I hated him. He didn't hate me, but I hated him, and he knows that. Anyways, he stayed in the dorm next to me, actually. So after work, we would end up seeing each other, literally go home, so we knew. And I would come out for hookah around like 7 or 8 at night, and and he would come out for tea. And eventually we just kind of stopped hating each other and understanding each other. And so he would take his tea to me, and I would just smoke my hookah outside, and it just became a routine that we constantly did, and it was actually pretty awesome. I kind of miss those simple days. You know, I always want to be accepted by people. I actually have this story about this one girl that I met, you know, when I was trying to branch out and make other friends that I didn't work with, and so we had met through a mutual friend. We really hit it off. So we decided this one night to have a sleepover, and long story short, it ended really quickly when she had sex with the guy that I proposed to. Yes, I did propose to a guy. 100% don't recommend, don't do it. I don't recommend proposing to men because they make you feel like shit after. He said no, by the way. Obviously, I dodged a bullet with that. Thank God for that. So yeah, this one night we planned a sleepover together, and so we decided, you know, to watch The Notebook and be romantic with each other. Okay, not like that. Not sexually, okay? Just like, you know, vibing with each other, drink some wine, pop some popcorn, a standard sleepover. And we set up like her little dorm with blankets and pillows, and we made it pretty awesome with candles and stuff too. Well, at like 3 a.m, I woke up, and I don't know if she sleeps with her eyes open or what, but it scarred me for life, the fact that she was staring at me in the dark, and while we were sleeping, I felt like she was watching me sleep, and it was creepy as fuck to me. Like, I was creeped the fuck out, but yeah, that was awesome. Anyways, I definitely chose my friends wisely after that situation, and then shortly after that, my ex and I started dating, so. Which brings me to my next topic, acceptance in your relationship. Yes. You should always be 100% accepted in your relationship. They really shouldn't change anything about you. Whatever change that happens in your relationship was, you know, something that you guys grew into together, but they shouldn't have to force you to give anything up, to change something about yourself. You know, obviously my favorite color is pink. I'm not changing my favorite color. I don't care who I'm talking to. If you tell me that my favorite color is no longer pink, then you're fucking wrong, and this is done. I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time with somebody who just wants to change me and mold me into somebody that I'm not, which was a lot with my ex and I felt like he was trying to change me into somebody that I am not and not ready to be yet. To each his own, so I'm not mad at him for it. It's just, I guess that's how he knows love. I don't know. But look, if they can't accept you for it, then cut that hoe off. And that's exactly what I did. But I can't tell you what to do. I could just give you suggestions because, like I always say, full disclaimer, my opinions and my opinions only. But 2020 has been really trying for all of us, for real. You know, especially with COVID-19 and us having to really change our routines. A lot of people not having jobs anymore, and I'm really sorry. But I know that you don't want my pity, so I'm not gonna, you know, pity you. But I hope that you are taking those necessary resources to get help. Yeah, I started this year off, like I was going through my diary and I started this year off homeless, like full on homeless, living from my car. And if it wasn't for a sugar daddy, I don't know where I would be. Like, obviously I would still be in a house, but you know, like butterfly effect. I don't know if you guys believe in that, but butterfly effect, every little thing makes a big difference in your life. And I remember that day so clearly because my ex and I shared a lease together, so it wasn't working, and it got to the point where he kicked me out. But I was staying in the gaming room. Yeah, we had a gaming room because we're both nerds, I guess. And so in our gaming room we had a little couch in there from my old apartment, and I was literally sleeping on that couch. It was really bad, and there was so much separation. I was using the guest bathroom. Like, there was nothing in that apartment anymore that was mine or reminded me of why I was in this relationship to begin with. I mean, it was hard for me to go. It was a lot of change that was about to come. I mean, I was going to go from having a very comfortable home environment with somebody that I trusted and loved to nothing, which is exactly what happened. I remember the day that the last final stuff that I had finally put in my storage all by myself, and I sat in my car after I locked everything up, and I couldn't even drive yet because it was just tears and tears and tears because it's like, oh my God, I'm homeless. And I really couldn't go to my family and be like, I don't know what to do. It was a really hard time in my life. I felt like I was going through it alone. I was so alone. I was so depressed and anxious, and you know, there was just so much going through my mind. And if it wasn't for sugar daddy, like I said, he is my rock. He really built me up, and you know, I'm gonna cuff him up one of these days. It will happen. I don't care what he says, it's gonna happen because that's my person. And so I had packed everything up into my storage unit. Obviously he knew. Sugar daddy knew that I was packing the rest of my things up, and I went straight to his house after because I just wanted to be around somebody that I trusted as well. And that was him. Like, I do trust him. I was bawling in my car. I was on my way to his house. I was bawling even more. And I was like, I need to let this out before I get to his house, because when I get to his house, I'm gonna dry these tears and I'm not gonna cry anymore. But you know when somebody comes up to you and they say, what's wrong? And then bam, all the tears, they just fucking come out. Well, that's exactly what happened. I pulled up to his house. I pulled myself together. I was legit. I was ready to do this. And he saw me in the car and he was like, what's wrong? And I'm just like, don't say that, I'm gonna start crying. And that's exactly what I did, and I was like full on ugly crying. It was adorable. I loved it. Sarcasm, totally sarcasm. Yeah, so I'm dealing with a lot of past drama. You know, it's definitely a day at a time. That's honestly what it is. That's what my mom said. She said, just take it one day at a time. You'll figure it out. I promise you that you will. And I think that's kind of like what concludes this. I had a lot of stories on change because I've been through a lot of change. In the end, no matter what, change is inevitable. It's going to happen whether you want it to or not. It doesn't matter how much you want it not to happen. It's going to happen. And sometimes it sucks, and sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, honestly. It just depends on the lesson being learned in that situation. In every episode, I always say that I want perspective. So give it to me, please put it in my lap. I want to know what you guys think. Obviously I have some listeners, so thank you. Seriously, that makes me so happy to see that there are people listening to my podcast who find me interesting enough and who like to keep up with my bad decisions on a weekly basis. I love the support. Thank you so much. I do want advice. If anybody could give me advice on like depression, how do you even deal with it? Like, I don't understand. I feel like she just kind of comes and goes as she pleases, literally with like dirty boots on. Like, bruh, clean your shoes and come into my house. But she like keeps her shoes on, fucking sits on the couch, eats all my food, makes me cry, makes me want to pull my hair out, and I just don't know how to deal with it. Thank you guys for listening. Be safe, be happy, and be loved. XOXO Jazz.